Hello, welcome everyone. Today we are going to learn how you can integrate a WhatsApp message, custom WhatsApp message by the way, in your client's website without asking for their WhatsApp link. Now, let me explain the difference between this particular formula and the normal WhatsApp link formula. Now, if you are using WhatsApp link, you know that when you plug in a WhatsApp link to a button, it actually sends a message directly to the person in their WhatsApp. So it opens the messaging box. It doesn't write an automated message for the user. Okay. So when a user clicks on that, they now have to type in the message they want to actually send to the client. Okay. But sometimes users might not have much of that time, and some users might not be that much intelligent to actually start typing all those long processes. So it's good enough for you to give them upfront something to do or something to start up with, or a couple of texts to actually start up with. Then they fill in the rest themselves, or maybe they can wipe it off and start afresh. That's one use case. The second use case for this particular formula is in cases where you want users to send a specific message based on a specific button. For instance, we can have a button for contact us, and we can have a button for a product. We can have a button for a particular service. So you can write different messages for these different buttons, knowing that this user is coming from this specific page or coming for this specific product. I hope you understand. So this is more handy than using the WhatsApp link. And three is that this doesn't require the person to either have a WhatsApp business or not, because before you have a WhatsApp short link, you must have a WhatsApp business. But for this one, you don't need any WhatsApp business. As long as the WhatsApp phone number, that phone number is connected to a WhatsApp account, you actually are good to go. Okay. So in most cases, my clients don't have WhatsApp business, but we need to integrate their WhatsApp button in their website. So I don't need to start telling them to create a WhatsApp business account for that. That would be a lot more stress. So I just request for their phone number, which they want to use officially on the website, because it must not be that one that they are using there. Right. And when I request for that, we are good to go. What I do is I pick up the information and I just sort it in, and we are good to go. So before we get into that, I have to teach you how to actually create a button. I've received many issues where people don't know how to create a button, and we have to learn how to create a custom button right away before we proceed. So now, very quickly, when you drop in the button, let me show you how it's going to look like. Still the same thing like what I have here. Okay, you see how it looks? So I'm going to show you what I did to make it look like this anyway. This is just the starting point. So when you drop a button, click on the button, go to style and remove all padding. You need to create a button the way you want, not leaving it the way it was set. The way it was set, all of these places are cleared out and you see nothing, just as it is in the border radius section. Right now, in these parts, we have the top, we have the bottom. At 15:15, I just added this couple of moments before I started this tutorial. Sorry about that. So if I clear it off, when you click on this unlinking, when you add a new button, let me show you that very quickly. When you add a new button, okay, and you go to styling and you unlink it by clicking on this, it becomes the same with what we have from there. I hope you understand it now. Fine. So that's how we got there. So we go to styling. I don't want to delete that button because we have a link already pasted there, and I'm going to take you to the link in a couple of moments. Fine. So we go to the padding section, give it a padding top of 15 pixels. This is just a general sizing for beginners, okay? If you're a professional, if you want to use a wider range of smaller button, that's all left for you. But this is the default button style that I actually decided to use for all of my customization. Now you can decide to go 30 pixels because the width is usually wider than the height. You can go 30 pixels left and 30 pixels right. This is okay, but this doesn't make much of a sense for me. In most cases, for instance, if you get to the mobile responsiveness, this wouldn't make any sense being like this. But I'm going to show you what to do when you get to that particular breakpoint. So for now, we are going to leave it at 40 pixels left and 40 pixels right, because we need a more breathing space left and right. Now, this button will expand or reduce based on the content inside and based on the size of the text inside it. So for instance, we go to typography and we increase the size of the font. You see that the button automatically increases. Now, even if we don't increase the size of the button, okay, and we decide to go back to the text and type in something, we say, click here now. Just watch how the button keep expanding. You get the point? So buttons are adjusted based on this content. Now, you don't decide the width of your button, the width in padding of your button, until you decide what content will be inside of that button. But in most cases, we might have a layout like this. Just watch carefully. We are going to go getting into another tutorial, by the way. So when you select on this, we want to say click here in this first one. And in the second one, we want to say click here today. You get the point? Okay? So in this case, we actually want the first and second button to be the same height, or the same width, I mean. So to do that, all you need to do is to go over to advanced, go to default, and make this on custom. On custom, you can now select a width. Possibly we can call this 40%, but to check it is wider than this one we have here. So let's reduce it a little. Let's make it about, we want it to be a little bit wider than the one we have. I will tell you the reason why in a couple of moments. Okay, let's make it 20 pixel. That's too small. Let's increase it based on this. Fine. So 26 is okay because it's a little bit wider than this, and I'm going to tell you why it's going to be wider than this, right? Now, if it is Elementor default button you are using, go over to styling and make sure you click on this stretch option. Simple. But if you click on that stretch option, nothing happens, is because you have not set the width from over here to be whatever you want. If you click that stretch and leave this width at default, nothing will happen. There must be a designated width or a full width size. So if you click on full width size, it's going to be 100% of that particular container it is inside. So bear that in mind. We leave it at custom and we leave it at 26. What we need to do now is click option, copy this style, and we paste the style here. Fine. You see, we have the button of the same width. And why we decided to make this one at the top wider than this, because if we decide to make this one now smaller than this, smaller than equal to this one here, you find issues where, in this case, we will have this part one beneath wider than this one at the top, because this one now at the top is taking a wider space, assuming to be smaller, not smaller, because it has many space in the padding section which is not visible. That is a little bit complex to understand. But first of all, when you want to make a size, make sure the text that is smaller, the button is wider than the text that is wider, and then apply the style to the one beneath. I might have more clarity in explaining this in the future. Now, when you select on these two buttons, you see the two buttons are okay as we want them to be. If you go to the cascading down, you know what to do from here. You can adjust them based on what you want. But I want to focus on the mobile right now. You see, when we get to mobile, everything goes wide. Okay, what you need to do in mobile is very simple. Click on this custom and make it full width, 100%. But if you're not comfortable with 100%, you can go over and make this at percentage and give it at 80%. Right? Let's leave it at 80%. And we copy the style, copy, and we paste the style here. Perfect. You see, we keep it at 8%. We are still having that button not working well. Now, what do we do here? What we do is very simple. Watch and watch very carefully. Since we have added a percentage width, a custom width to this content, we do not need the padding here, because the padding will be crushing the content inside of this particular button. You get the point? See the padding we added there, 40 right and 40 left. Now let's go back to mobile. Let me show you what magic that can prove. Okay, if we clear this, the top and bottom we clear, so we have to add that top and bottom again. So we have to add 15 top and 15 bottom again. You get the point? But this thing we did here now will not cascade to the one above. And you see, it has fixed the problem of that particular button having to break into two. Your button text are not supposed to break into two. You get the point now? So, but if we are doing it from the front end, we need to just come here, wipe out this one, go over here, wipe out this other one. And when we get to mobile, we don't need to do that again. It's automatically done for us. You get the point? The same applies to this one. Since it's already applied here, we don't need to clear here. Go over to this one, go over to left, wipe, go over to right, wipe. Everything will still be the same. When you go to mobile, everything now is fine and those ones are cleared. Because content styling cascades from the top hierarchy to the bottom. So that's why when we style this in the mobile, on this one, it didn't happen in the desktop. You have to come back and do it in the desktop. So the best practice, do it in the desktop and it will cascade down to the mobile. So this is simply how to create a button. Now, if you want a button to be rounded a little, some people will use very pointed mouth button. I don't really like pointed mouth button. Okay, the best practice, you can curve it a little, but don't curve it too much. Something like this is okay, right? And the button itself, I don't like the height. The height doesn't look good to me. So we increase it a little. 17, let's call it 18, and we increase the bottom a little. Why we want to do it like this is for accessibility option. Okay, we want to make sure that people, when they try to hover, it's easy for them to get to the button without trying to struggle to get through the line. Tiny buttons make it very difficult for people to click. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is the color. You have to choose the color that matches the brand. If it is this color you are choosing, you know that the text color can also possibly become black or if it is white, you have to bring down this color to be a darker version so that it can show the color. And there should be a hover option. On the text option, we want it to be white, and with the color option, we want it to be black. Make sure the border is always black, and also make sure the border of this one is also black. How do we find the border of this one? The border by default, okay, I think it inherits the border from the color already, because since we enable the border from here, it inherits the border from the button we have from here, from the color we have from here, right? Perfect. So we are done with the main thing. Okay, the transition is too fast, so we increase it a little so that it will fade in. Let's increase it a little. Don't increase it too much. Okay, fine. This is fine. This is perfect. So now we are done with that. Let's go to the main thing. If you change colors, you know what to do from there. Let's go to the main thing, which is what? The WhatsApp content. So this is what to do. This is what to do. Okay, so this is the WhatsApp content. Let's reduce this so we can see. And by the way, if you are actually using text format in a Windows, you want to actually make this cascade, you can click on format and word wrap. Word wrap will break it and make it be in the same space. This is what responsiveness feels like. I hope people who do web design understand what I'm talking about. So you won't be designing in this size and your content is actually folded to the edge. It doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, word wrap, and this is the content. Now watch very carefully. We have here whatsapp.me, HTTPS, which is standing for security SSL certificate, the S. Then we have whatsapp.me. Then we have the phone number from over here with a question mark, text equal to hello. Hello is my first text. So this should be your first text. And you can put comma if you want. If you don't want, you can leave comma. Any text you're adding must have to join together. Don't separate text. If you come here and separate this text, this won't work. Okay? So if you want to separate the text, you separate them with what? With a percentage. Let me type it for you. And 20. So you type percentage and 20. Okay, now why I put the asterisk at the edge here, you know WhatsApp, when you put asterisk at the edge of a text, it makes the text become bold. So the name of the client's brand should become bold. It depends on the message you want to send. Okay, hello Kata Studios, I am coming from your website, comma, I need a design. Whatever you want to write there, full stop, and we are good to go. You end it with what? Percentage. And this particular format will be available for you in the description of this video. Okay, if you're watching this on YouTube, it will be available for you in the description of this video below. So you can just copy it and use it, change the client phone number. So if it's a foreign client, if their number is plus whatever it is, just add plus whatever it is. Some of the foreign clients contacts are spaced out like this. Do not space out everything. Close down everything. Close down everything. Okay, if it's a foreign contact, close down everything. Make sure everything joins together, and you can now what? Copy your link and paste. So now we have our link available, and we can now proceed with the rest of the things. So let's do this very quickly. Let's save this. Let's save this. Okay, so it is saved and we have to click on preview so we can test out our button and see if it's working. Perfectly fine. So we click on the button right now and it opens WhatsApp. It says you should open WhatsApp. So we click on this right now. So it opens the WhatsApp application itself. I think for the first time, and you see the message automatically applies. You see it? Hello Kata Studios, I am coming from your website. I need a design. So users can now easily click and send the message without having to bother about anything. You get the point. Okay, so if now they want to now add their own content, they can now decide to add whatever they want to add. If they send this content, the asterisk will disappear because they will now have the content in a bold text from here. So you customize the thing the way you want to customize it, and this is how to actually set a WhatsApp button whatsoever to your client's button, whatever button, whether you want to apply that to form beneath the content or wherever you want to apply it. This works perfectly well for you. If you have any question, you can drop that in the comment section below. Do have a wonderful day.